XOXO, got the girl. Pose. Good morrow and merry meet. My name is Audra and you are in for a treat. All right, what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna get ready. It is 6:25 a.m. again. Who the hell am I? Y'all, I found them. They fit, they're comfy. I'm doing the most. All right, so what we're gonna do is go ahead and get ready, and I wanna talk about something that's been on my mind. And as we know, when I'm talking about something that's been on my mind, it can get a little, have some coffee. Let's go. The beauty girlies are running. Listen, I'm sure I am not the only one who has noticed the large amount, dog hair, of beauty creators moving and pivoting their content. And I want to talk about it. Why not? Let me just start by saying that I do think that this is cyclical. It's happened for a while, but I want to talk about, I think, why I think it might be different. I use the word think a lot, just a second. But I do want to talk about why I think it's different this time around and what might be contributing to this like escape from Beauty Island. So first up, there's the 2016 blast blow of the Morphe undisclosed sponsorships. Now the thing is, I think that a lot of people were never upset that the sponsorships were, that people were making money, right? Nobody was like, oh my God, people are making money. What they were upset about is that they didn't know that you were making money. Like, no one likes to be lied to like that. And I've talked about this in a live stream with Emily, but there's a level to which many people were just like extremely upset, and they had a right to be. There's just something kind of ugly about you not really just saying, we're making money off of you. And there's also something ugly about companies that are super comfortable with you not saying, hey, making money. But because of that, I just honestly feel like, number one, we are never again going to get to the heights that the beauty community was in 2016. I can't say if that's a good or a bad thing, but I'm definitely just gonna say, like, we're never gonna get there again, because that built a lot of distrust. And for maybe some people who are scammy, it's very upsetting for them because they like to be able to trick people into believing that they love something so they can make as much money as possible. I guess get your bag, sis, but like, could you do it in a non-shitty, scammy way? Just a question. And that is still felt to this day. Not a day goes by where a beauty creator doesn't see, and probably y'all as subscribers, sorry, I'm having trouble with words this morning, but you don't see somebody talking about like, all they do is sell us stuff, which, yeah, that's kind of part of the job. You don't have to buy it for sure, but like, that's kind of part of the job. Beauty companies, like, nobody partners with me or allows me to be an affiliate so that I can not sell you stuff. Speaking of, a lot of this will be linked in the description box below. Some of it is affiliate links, which does in fact earn me a small commission, which I use to put back into my channel. And I appreciate when you use them. But you know, if it makes you feel weird, you don't have to. All right, now that that's out of the way, but it still felt the same. In addition to that kind of very weird sensation and the way that that kind of exploded and blew the beauty community up, so too did the Marlene Estelle 60K bombshell. So, so some of y'all may remember that there was a time when Marlene Estelle was a beauty creator, and this shit really popped off and got out of hand. Essentially, Marlena did like a goodbye beauty community video, and in that video at one point she named like the amount, and people, I feel like, were speculating that it was James Charles. I can't remember if she said him by name, but we as a whole were treated to her essentially saying like, without really saying, I just couldn't afford somebody, which that's all you had to say, boo. Like, you didn't have to go the way that you went, but you know what? It's hindsight, 2020. But that number just made everyone think that everybody in the beauty community was making bank, babes, bank. They were like, oh no. So what that did too is like kind of give people, alongside the Morphe situation, I think it gave people this idea that every single beauty creator was just like making so much money, you know, thousands upon thousands of dollars, that we're all able to live off of whatever we're making here. And like, that's radically untrue for most of us. And when that came out, you know, I feel like a lot of us, myself included, didn't really think about, you know, it took me until later to like really think about how I felt about that whole situation. And I feel like one of the conclusions I came to was like, you know, if you can't afford it, you can't afford it. But if it was James Charles that she was talking about at the time, and again, this is old, I can't remember if she said his name, but if it was him that she was talking about at the time, babes, he had a shit ton of subscribers. He like, regardless of how he is now, then he had the pull and should have been paid accordingly. Because the reality of the situation is, when you are trying to get someone to do a sponsored video, let us be very real about what you're asking. Instead of, and I've talked about this before, but some of you are new and haven't heard this, but like when it comes to sponsorship on YouTube, you're just paying, you know, you're paying the creator for their time and efforts and all that good shit, right? But here's the gag. If you made an actual commercial, it would cost you significantly more. Most people know that. It would, in fact, cost more money. And the reason it would cost more money is because, let's see, if you're based in California, you're gonna have to pay for the flight for the influencer and whomever they need to bring with them. You know, then you're also going to have to pay for room and board for them to stay. Again, them and everybody that they're bringing. Then after you're done doing that, you're gonna have to pay craft services, lighting, film. You get the picture. There's a lot of people that you're paying. You could be paying upwards of, you know, $500,000 sometimes, more, depending on who you're working with and where you're gonna put this commercial. And if you think about it, $60K is like a drop in the bucket. But if you can't afford it, you can't afford it, right? But again, that very much brought like a very specific energy into people thinking that creators were making money hand over fist, which was not the thing. In addition to everybody thinking that literally every creator is just making money hand over fist and lying about everything, which again, we're still never gonna, I don't really ever know if that's ever gonna go away. I feel like there's just always going to be this underpinning of people feeling distrustful about reviews and about who loves what. I'm an indie person at heart, but like there's certain products that I just, listen, I like it in this format. Also, another big reason I think that a lot of beauty creators are exiting the space, some unprovoked, but I think a big one is that, now before people start coming for me and getting mad, because, you know, I just remember in the past they either, and I talked to Emily about this as well, they either pivoted to lifestyle and just like we're doing a different thing, or they like started brands or companies and like that's what they do now. The thing that's very interesting is like now people are starting brands a la Jacqueline and Manny and Jeffree Star and Tati. See where I'm going with this? And then they just stay on YouTube. Instead of starting brands and doing that and like living their best life as a CEO of whatever brand that they've created, they're like creating brands and then they just stay here. They just stay in the YouTube space, which means for a lot of creators, like the idea of getting to the top or being, you know, next in line to the throne is gone. Like you realize like you're never gonna get that crown, and there's a level of irritation with that because if you can't rise, like it just feels like there's a point where you're gonna plateau is what I'm getting at. And so I think people realizing like, oop, I don't want to plateau, and I love YouTube and I like doing it. I think people realizing that are like, well, I've got to find something else to do. And listen, I'm not immune to it either. However, if you've watched my OGs know, I've been doing all kinds of shit for a long time. Like, I don't necessarily just stick to doing beauty because first of all, if you didn't know, I am autistic and I have ADHD. And so it's fairly difficult for me to just stick to exactly one thing. I like to play with all of my interests at one time. And if I can combine all of them on my channel, because I'm not old school where I feel like I have to have 75 channels for all the different things. If I don't feel like, I don't want to do that, I'd much rather just keep it all in one spot and you watch what you want to watch, you know what I mean? And that's cool. Like, I kind of started realizing and learning how to temper my videos, beauty commentary, what I want to do. But I feel like that's a big part of it too, is like people realize, like, unless you're like Peter Mon or, a really big creator, having multiple channels really isn't the avenue to go down. And it feels a lot like the folks at the top are like the boomer generation. Don't get mad. It feels a lot like the folks at the top are like the boomer generation. They climbed up there and then they kicked the ladder down. So like literally nobody else in the beauty community can really rise up to those heights, or it feels like that. And so with knowing that like there's not really upward progression and all of that, I think people just started finding other things to either pivot their channel to, create brand new channels to do something else, or some are gonna just retire, who knows. But we're also seeing, within that vein, the true real generation. I don't want to say first, but yeah, I do want to say first. The true first generation who is going to really do YouTube for life. You know what I mean? Why did I not throw this away? That hurts my feelings. Look at this. This is my old eyebrow pencil in comparison. I will really use the fuck out of something. That is embarrassing. All right, it's not embarrassing. I'm just thrifty. I'm just cheap. But yeah, if it doesn't feel like you're going to be able to rise to those new heights, like those heights, there once was a feeling that like, once those people left or went on about whatever it was that they were doing, there would be other people to replace them. But since they stayed and keep staying, it feels like, nope, I don't have a chance for success. And especially for those trying to make this like what they live off of. They understand the importance of, kind of moving their content in a direction that will truly give them that ability to live off of YouTube. And when I say live off of, I don't know if that video is up yet. Who knows? Because I batch film, by the way, y'all. So also, if you're a patron, you'll notice that on some videos you'll be there, other ones you won't. Some of the stuff's already uploaded, so please don't get mad. Like, you'll show up. I promise you, you will. But yeah, understanding and realizing that like, okay, well, this is how I want to make my living. And it, again, not saying, oh, be a millionaire. Like, I don't want to be a millionaire. It sounds nice in theory, but realistically, there's not a lot of shit that I want in life. I just want tattoos, titties, and eyebrows and my mom's debts to be paid. Like, that's all I want. That's all I want out of life. But yes, definitely a thing that is happening is we are seeing the first true generation of like YouTubers. Like, they're not leaving. They're going to have their company and they're going to promote it on their YouTube channels, which more power to them. But it does leave a bit of space for the rest of us to kind of feel like, okay, well, I'm not gonna make it. Like, it's not gonna happen. And also when we're talking about growth, another big thing that's changed is once upon a time, collabs were life. If you did a collab with somebody who is significantly larger than you, like, it grew your channel. You were like, boom, people immediately went over to check you out. However, due to the toxic trio, that definitely changed, right? Because as people started being more and more, getting into more and more toxic ass situations, it began to seem like, yeah, I don't really know that I want to co-sign people, if only to find out a couple months later that they're a shit, the creator that recommended them is a shit, it's awful. And I say toxic trio, but it could be the funky five, whatever we want to do, right? But there was once a time where if you did a collab, like in today's age, if I were to do a collab with Hannah from Smoky Glow or Abby Williamson, hell, I even did a collab with my friend T. If I were to do collabs with these folks, you know, back in the olden days, easily you could gain like between 5 and 10,000 subscribers. It wouldn't even be a big, like, people would immediately flock over because they'd be like, oh, if so-and-so likes them, then I'm gonna like them, right? Like that would be the overarching feeling. But now, because of the toxicity that happened there with, you know, not just people not being like good people, but also the realization that like a lot of people weren't actually friends. Do you know what I mean? Like they were acquaintances. Not everybody, but some people just weren't actually friends. It appeared that way, but they just weren't friends. Like watching people denounce their own friends was weird, and then also demanding people like get rid of their friends was also weird. And I think a lot of creators don't really want to mess with like having to do a full-on background search of everybody that they want to collab with. I mean, y'all may notice I keep my collab list pretty small. I now am very much on the line of like, I have to know the creator. Like I absolutely have to know them. I have to have talked with them for a little bit, kikied, before like I really am comfortable. First of all, I get very incredibly awkward trying to ask for a collab. So there's that part. But also, I really do have to know them pretty well because like I've gotten burned and there's just people that I'm like, it's fine that we're not friends. Like it's okay, right? And I'm not gonna get mad at that. I don't think anybody is. But the reality that people aren't who you think they are, or like something happens, I don't like that. And I think it also contributed to a lot of people thinking, well, they're not really friends if they could just like throw them in the trash. So then that makes collabs weird as fuck for subscribers to watch. And like, I'm a subscriber, so it does make it weird. Like, I'm like, I don't know. Are y'all actually friends, or is this like friends for pay? They're even, bitch. What? Don't talk to me anymore. I'm too good for everyone now. I made even wings. Leave me alone. Why am I like this? Okay, wings have been applied, and now we're gonna continue the conversation. Sorry, I got like really tickled a little bit ago because like my wings are even, so like I feel like. So another reason too is that, you know, these beauty girlies are leaving is because drama don't raise your profile the way it used to. And the thing is, it's because it used to be like petty bullshit, like I don't fucking like you drama, like we're not friends drama, but then it quickly morphed into like,
this shit is illegal
drama, like holy shit, why aren't the cops being called drama? And that changes like the whole thing, right? Like it was all fun, cute, fun and games when you're like, oh, they don't like each other. But then when it was like, they committed a crime, that's different, right? And I think that if you're in the community and you're doing things, right, there is a level of feeling like not only are these people not gonna be held accountable for the things that they've done, so that can make you feel like you don't really wanna be a part of a community that's going to continue to uplift people like this. And again, we all have our own, you know, value systems and whatnot. So I'm just explaining what I think is going on. So please. But feeling like that can make people just be like, I don't want to really be a part of a community that, you know, uplifts those kinds of people. And it leads to a lot of people feeling like it's very, very toxic, which it is actually not. It's the dirty ones at the top. So we'll get there in just a second. I'm almost ready to talk about that. But I do feel like people just looked at that and, you know, used to, you could just like drum up some bullshit petty drama and it was all cute and fun and games. But we're watching not just in the beauty community, but like in other communities where this shit is just not drama anymore. It's not funny. It's not like they're literally like affecting people's lives, not let alone, you know, committing actual crimes, but they really are like harming people. And I think a lot of us just don't want to be associated with that, which understood, you know what I mean? Like I'm not, you know, me, I just try to stay in my little corner doing my little thing and hanging out with my friends that I know, and like that's the level that I'm gonna go to. Because basically these big creators can go off, like can do something terrible, horrific even. Tell me what cartoon character I'm doing right there, and then like you don't win a prize. It's just like I will be impressed. Yeah, I feel like the way that you used to be able to like make bullshit drama and be like, I don't like her, and then like be able to make up and be friends later, also build a little bit of distrust, right? Because it felt like these people aren't friends, and yet like now all of a sudden they are friends. Like, was that fake? Were they faking it for the views? And then it's like, I don't know. And it does feel like that. So who knows, right? Who actually knows? But yeah, used to like all the drama stopped being drama is really what I should be saying. Drama just stopped being actual drama and started being like, wow, we're ruining people's lives here. Okay, didn't realize that was the direction we were headed, but all right. And with that being the case, I think a lot of people, subscribers too, just got tired and were like, this is very exhausting and I don't know who to trust anymore. I don't know who's a good person. Who's next? Who's gonna be next in the list of like, I done wrong, you know what I mean? And so that's a situation in and of itself where it feels very much like it's hard to trust that people are going to continue to be a good person and not be a ginormous piece of shit and not be harmful. Yeah. And finally, when we're talking about the beauty community, we definitely can't do it without talking about all of the intense scandals that have happened and constantly having to hear that the beauty community is toxic when we do know who's causing it. Like, I guarantee that there's people who see all this spectacle and just think everybody in the community is catty and rude and mean and nasty, like whatever it is, right? And whilst I understand that, I feel like it's because a lot of people have not bothered to follow other folks. And listen, I get it. Everybody likes a little bit of mess in their lives. Like, I love mess. As long as I'm not in the mess, I love to watch the mess. It like brings me so much joy. I'm like, look at it. And I'm not talking about like criminal activity. I'm just talking about like messy bitches doing messy things. Because these few people, even before all the legal shit started going down, but because these very few people started causing like so much mess, it just looks like it makes the entire community look like that, and it does make it hard to be proud to be a part of the community. I'm still proud, but I get why people would feel some type of way. It feels difficult to be like, I'm in the beauty community, because like if you're in the outside world in real life, there's definitely going to be people who know of the beauty community and they know only the drama. They know about like the bullshit Jeffree Star's done and the racism, and like it just begins to feel like you're working your ass off in a community to uplift it and bring it back to beauty, or I don't know if it was ever just there, but like just bring it back to the fun and lightheartedness that it should be. And there's a level of feeling like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to do it. Like, we're not going to be able to do it because every time we try to get it there, these folks just show back up, and then they have like all this shit going on. And there's a level of like feeling of who is actually friends. I think I touched on this earlier, but you know, when you start finding out like people are keeping fucking voicemails and voice notes and, you know, recording people without their knowledge and fucking NDAs, it's like, is anybody really friends? Yes. But it does feel a little awkward and a little bit strange. And I think that you're seeing people just kind of want to stray away from the idea that they're part of something that is very toxic. And I'm here to tell you, like, listen, it's my opinion, so take that with whatever you will. But I think that the beauty community, below those people, away from those people, is considerably less toxic. I'm not gonna say it's completely toxic free. I'm not, because then I'd be a liar. All right, so as I was saying, I feel like, you know, I think the thing is that the smaller beauty community has learned some very valuable lessons from the big beauty community. And one thing we definitely learned was keep our drama to our fucking selves. And I'm not gonna say everybody's learned that lesson, but I'm gonna say a lot of people have realized that, like, airing all your dirty laundry like that eventually just it does cause problems, and it makes you look a very specific way. And honestly, I feel like most of us don't do it unless we absolutely have to. It's like, no, like if I have to air somebody out, yeah, I'll air you out, but that's only if you're like, hell, even when you're subtweeting me and trying, like, I just don't care enough, because like most of the time
I don't even like you.
so like I don't care to like defend myself against somebody. I'm like, do you enjoy yourself? I'm not playing. So I guess in conclusion, the girlies are running from the beauty community. It is cyclical anyway. People are going to get tired of doing beauty content. Sometimes they get overwhelmed by the amount of makeup. Sometimes they get overwhelmed by the grind, which I didn't really get into in detail or really at all until now. But there is a bit of a grind where it's like you constantly have to pump out content and have all the newest shit, and that can get overwhelming because it seems like something new is being released like every third day. And when that happens, it's just like you're constantly trying to get these things and then film all of them and then edit all of them. That can be very intense, and the people at the top don't really leave. They stay exactly where they are. They start companies and then they don't go on to that company, which they don't have to. By the way, I'm not saying they have to. I'm just saying I remember when people just kind of retired away from YouTube and they were like, look at me, I started Ipsy. You know what I mean? Like that was a thing that happened, and now they're just basically staying in the space. They're staying here. They have companies, and it does make people, I think, feel discouraged about being able to make it. I think there are people who want to be the next Manny MUA, and like, you know, that's not my interest. I honestly just like, I would love to be able to do this as a job. I feel like many people would, because it would be fun. It would actually be a fun time. Also, it's very helpful because like I do have a schedule. I bet you didn't know that. I have a daily schedule, and like spending time with my Beau Bear and getting to love him and cuddle him, keeping my home clean, which is something that is very, very hard for my neurodivergent ass, and just generally like dealing with the stress and pressure of people who think that you are lying if you like something because of all the shit that went down with Morphe and the Marlene Estelle 60K bombshell. So I think I summed it all up. In realistically, we're going to see a lot of people just escaping the beauty community for bigger and better hills that they think is better for them.
So essentially, there's not a lot of money in the beauty community like there once was in order for you to be upward mobile. And I'm not talking again about being a millionaire, just being able to eke out a living doing this. It's not where it used to be. It's harder and harder to get PR, it's harder to get sponsorships, and it's harder to get a viewing audience. So that's what I'm getting at. All right, bye.
And good for them, more power to them. But always remember that there are still many of us here who love beauty, and I'm finding these people all the time. You know, I'm finding Beauty in the Frizz, which is fantastic. There's so many creators, and now I can't remember like right off the top of my head, but I remember Beauty in the Frizz, Cara, fantastic creator, and a lot of really great ways to find them is like when you're following a creator, check their community page, because a lot of times they're like giving you information on other people that you can like check out. They're not necessarily doing collaborations, and that's okay, right? Because I feel like a lot of us want to get to know people, although I do really think that I might want to hang out with Cara because she seems phenomenal. But I think what you're seeing is like the smaller beauty community that really doesn't want any drama, really doesn't want any bullshit, really only wants to like enjoy makeup. We're kind of combining together in like little huts and little groups, and excuse huts, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but we're kind of huddling together in little groups, trying to like uplift one another and just enjoy making beauty content in whatever way we make it. Like I enjoy doing a lot of commentary. I like talking about media, and I do like to review makeup, but like at the same time, I don't want to just be pigeonholed into one spot. So that's it. That is the video. This is the look. What y'all think? I wore this look for the live stream that I had with Nappy Headed Hoba and my friend Emily on Nappy Headed Hoba's channel. I'm like trying to say all words. And it was like 5 or more times that we wish that Black Twitter was there because these things wouldn't happen. If you haven't seen that, I will have that video linked here in the card. Wherever it is. Don't judge me if my finger's on the wrong side. All right, for real, I'm going to go now because I want to. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, give it a big thumbs up, and then that way the algorithm goddess can continue pushing me further down in the algorithm. So then that way I can continue to do whatever the fuck I want to. As usual, huge shout out to my patrons and spooky bays, yeah. All right, without y'all, I really would not be able to do what I'm doing. I would not have been able to get a new ring light or a ring light for the first time ever. So I appreciate y'all for everything you do, because you do keep the bats and the belfry and the spiders firmly ensconced in their webs. All right, y'all, you know the drill. It costs $0 to be kind. Don't get stepped on, just be kind. Because if you don't take care of your soul, I'm sure as fuck coming for yours. Until next time, XOXO. Got the girl. From up here, the city lights burn, illuminate you like 1,000 miles of fire. This smells funny. And I'm here to sing this anthem. I caught a whiff of something. I'm like, what does that smell? It's not me. I showered before I went to sleep, so don't come for me on that shit. Oh, wow, that came up from like the depths of my soul. I love it when I burp from my soul. From up here, the city lights burn. What did I do to this earbud? Like, I can hear everything. I can hear it all. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. Oh my God. Coffee makes you burp so fucking much, and I don't think about it until I'm like doing it, and I'm like, Jesus. This is really pretty. This is one of my favorite looks ever done. Like, not ever, but like, it's one of my favorite ones because like, I love how I made this color look different here and here. Cause like, I'm a bad bitch.